It's not about me. It's not about me. What are they saying in the theme song? Cause I don't know, but I always sing along as if I know the words, but I don't know them. But anyway, welcome to La Vida Rosa. I'm your host Pinky, and today I will be reviewing Married at First Sight. So if you'd like to see more, then just stay tuned. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into this video. I really enjoyed last night's episode. I decided to look at some Married at First Sight Instagram pages, and I'm quite shocked by some people's opinions. Like, some people really feel like this season is boring and they like it better when couples are mismatched. They like the drama of, I don't know, people not being attracted to each other but stuck together. I mean, you know, it's fun to talk about, but to a certain degree, it's like I feel their pain. So I really enjoy this season. I like this season so much more already than last season because the whole Luke and Kate thing was disturbing. So I don't understand why. I mean, I get it. You know, we live in a society where we love salacious reality shows. I like this one because it's more realistic in that real life is not drama 1,000% of the time. Like, yeah, you're gonna have conflict. Of course they're gonna have conflict soon because they don't even know each other and they're in a relationship. That's already a conflict within itself, you know what I'm saying? So for people to just be like, oh, I wish there were some people that didn't get along, it's like, what? Is that why you watch this show? So now that I got my rant out of the way, I'm just gonna go ahead and discuss the scenes where they're together, and then I'm gonna break off. We see the women together and they are shopping, and the question was asked to the ladies whether they have had their first fight with their husband yet, and Elizabeth stayed quiet. Elizabeth's reasoning was that she wants to keep her business her own between her and her husband, and you know, she just didn't want to tell them. Basically, I think she was a little bit embarrassed myself about the fight, but in real life I do feel like you should not tell all your fights and what y'all did and didn't do in your relationships. But I think in this situation it could be helpful because all of y'all are going through the same thing. But you know, I respect her decision. And it also comes up that Dianna has told Gregory not to give her so many compliments. And Iris is like, girl, you better take that while you can. I would and then everybody else was like, I love it, you know, give me all the compliments. But I agree with Dianna. Like, she said, you know, they would love that because they're extroverted women. And when you look at them, you're right. Iris, Amber, and Elizabeth are way more extroverted than Dianna. And I can relate to Dianna because I am an introvert. I push myself to be extroverted and friendly and talk to people. I can do that, but I am in my natural state an introvert. So I feel her getting all those compliments and constantly, you know, it can be uncomfortable for someone who is an introvert and someone who hasn't been in a relationship in 10 years. I can relate to Dianna. So the men went golfing, and basically the main thing they talked about was Matt and Amber and how Matt is possibly gonna take a job overseas playing basketball. And Keith finds that a little odd and selfish because y'all just got married, y'all don't know each other, and how will your relationship survive that? He says he would never do it. I agree with Keith. Speaking of Keith, we're just gonna move on to Keith and Iris because they didn't really have much going on this episode. But honestly, they make me smile. Whenever I see them, like, all the couples kind of make me feel good, but Keith and Iris, I'm like, y'all look good together. I just like them together. But one thing we learned about Keith and Iris is that they're very adventurous. When they made it to the secret private island, they immediately went off on a hike and exploring. So we get to see the playful side of Keith, and it's cute because it's like he's doing kind of like kindergarten crush things, like, you know, making her feel like she got a bug on her, kind of like scaring her a little bit. To a degree, he was playing too much, and while he was playing, he messed around and lost that ring, and oh my goodness, you would have thought Iris really overreacted, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, let's look for the ring, but let's not stress out about looking for the ring because I'm not trying to act like a ring is like nothing, but you can get another ring. Like, even if you never find that ring, you can get another one, and you know you're still married, and losing the ring doesn't mean you're not married. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it, but y'all found it, so it, like, all that stressing out wasn't necessary, you know what I'm saying? But you know, that's just me. I probably would have been laughing more than anything. I probably been like, see, you doing all that playing, lost your ring, now you better find it, you know. I would be playing about it. Elizabeth and Jamie have consummated their marriage. I think we all knew that was gonna happen. Let's move on, because it's so awkward for me to even like discuss that, of someone else's marriage. And then even that whole them talking in the bed, it was so awkward to me to just be looking at them laying up together. Like, that's such an intimate, private moment. It was a little weird for me. He ended up telling her that he loved her, which I thought was, wow, he said that pretty early. Okay, first of all, I did not even know what a catamaran was, but the way Elizabeth was talking about a catamaran, I thought they was gonna be like jet skiing or doing something very active and physical, because she just, I don't want to do the catamaran, oh my god, I'm scared, and we're surrounded by water, we're waterlogged. Girl, calm down. Like, she's already very active and does a lot of this just in regular conversation, but the way she was going on and on and on about it, Jamie was just like, shoot, I almost don't even want to go if you're gonna talk about it like that. Like, he seemed to be taking it as a good sport in the moment, but behind the scenes he was telling how he really felt, and it's just like, he just has a lot to deal with her. Anyways, on the way there, she was freaking out a tiny bit, but she, you know, made it there fine. On the way back, it's a little bit more bumpy, and you know, everyone's having their own experience with it, but she's like, I don't know, she's becoming overwhelmed by the situation and ends up snapping at Jamie, cursing at Jamie, dropping the F-bomb and everything in front of everybody, and then storming off the boat. Like, what I don't get about her is, like, I get it, you're dramatic, I get that, but you gonna have to put yourself in check at some point, because how many times are you gonna apologize before this gets old? Like, it's like, girl, at every turn you having to apologize, and I'm just like, I get it, you're dramatic. There are some people in this world that are literally on 10, 1,000% of the time, and it just takes a person with patience to deal with them. It can work, but I do think you need to put yourself in check at some points and just realize that you're overreacting. It's crazy because I see myself pretty much in all these women a little bit of here and there. I am very spoiled, and so I'm training myself not to be spoiled. So I've had outbursts before. And so, you know, I've had to check myself, and I've been checked, so I get it. You're married now, so you can't just act like a spoiled brat whenever things are not going the way you want them to. With that being said, I think Jamie still can be that person that can calm her down if she allows him. And I also feel like they're still getting to know each other, and he'll learn eventually when she's playing and when she's serious. Because I feel like she was very seriously nervous and scared, and it was coming off as if she was, you know, playing. But I also, a part of me feel like Jamie liked the drama. Jamie just seemed like he liked it a little bit, because it seemed like the more they fight and argue and she dramatic, the more he just want to be on her and be loving up on her. So I don't know, child. Dianna and Greg. And let me just say, Greg is really growing on me. Like, I really like Greg. I like the fact that he's not too cool, that he doesn't let his masculinity hold him back from saying that he's afraid of something. Like, when all the men were talking and he just didn't mind telling everybody, yeah, I'm a little scared of the water. Like, a lot of men wouldn't readily admit that, and I just like how he's just so warm and open. He makes those corny jokes, and he kind of pokes at Dianna, and it makes you feel more comfortable. And I feel like a lot of people think Dianna is so stoic and standoffish, but she has a dry, sarcastic humor that I don't think people get. A lot of people are just like, you know, she doesn't appreciate it, but I think she does. It's just she's not overt with her feelings or how she feels. She doesn't really show it. And I feel like she's just misunderstood, and I think we should all give Dianna a chance, because I'd be seeing people going in on Dianna, and I'm just like, y'all can't be doing my girl like that. What? I love her. They talk about how Keith and Iris go down a list of things that they don't like at the end of every day. And she says she doesn't think that worked for her because she likes to address things in a moment. And I do feel like that's probably the most effective way to deal with grievances you might have with each other, to deal with it right then and there. Well, sometimes when people do things in the moment, they don't realize what they're doing, so it's nothing to them. So when you bring it up, it's like, really, you made a big deal out of that? When in the moment you can actually tell them your feelings and like, I really don't like that, please don't do it. And I feel like it'll be more effective in them not doing it again. So I do agree with Dianna. I probably would like to address things in the moment, but essentially they're doing the same thing, just in a different way. So finally they went to dinner and their living arrangements came up. Gregory has built his own 4-bedroom house and was just waiting on a woman to start a family with. And I was like, you better go, Greg. I was very impressed by that. And Dianna owns her own townhouse, which she's willing to give up because she's not all the way satisfied with it. So I'm like, okay, that's a good little, you know, that's great. She can move in. And she was like, she hopes she can add her own touches to it. I'm sure Greg just seemed like he just want a wife. He just looked like he wants a wife. He's embracing this entire experience because this is something that he truly desires. I don't think he would have a problem with Dianna doing anything, to be honest. When he was like, I was waiting on you, girl, I was like, you are so... He's slick. He's slick with his charm. Y'all, he's slick with that charm, boy. When this scene came up where they were talking about his ex-fiance and Dianna was asking him about her and it was like dun 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 type of music, they were making this so dramatic. It was not that dramatic. Anytime, I mean, I'm pretty sure if you're having a conversation with somebody you're just getting to know and they bring up that they had an ex-fiance, you're going to ask about it. Anybody is gonna ask about that. It's not like she was like, oh, you had an ex-fiance. It just wasn't even like that. So for them to really make it that dramatic, I was just like, the people that was editing this show, I'm like, y'all tried it. It was not that serious, but I think it was a good conversation to have because he said how it was a 4-year toxic relationship and it made him controlling. It probably brought the worst out of him, and so he went to go get help with fixing that. And I feel like, if anything, that would put me at ease that this man has went to therapy and he has worked on himself. And it's been 2 years out from that relationship, and they always say it takes you half as long as you was in the relationship to get over the relationship, so that's just enough time to get over it. And, you know, he's ready to start with someone new. They're not going at the speed of other couples, but I feel like over time they'll have a stronger bond because they do actually talk about these things and are very open with each other. Matt and Amber, they haven't really been having too much going on, so for them to have this little drama they had was like, okay. So on the catamaran, that word is just gonna be lodged in my brain for the next week. I'm just gonna burst out with catamaran. Amber was getting motion sickness, and honestly, this would be me. I get car sick. I've never been on a catamaran, but I already know I would have motion sickness, seasickness, whatever, because I just get that sort of thing when I'm in motion. But I liked the way Matthew was comforting her. He was doing the best he could. And Amber, you should not feel like a child for getting motion sickness. I mean, you literally cannot help that. It's not like you're trying to be. So when they went to dinner, they discussed Matthew going overseas, possibly if his business didn't work out. Did y'all catch what his business was? Maybe I wasn't paying attention, but I didn't see it. So he's trying to transition from being an international basketball player to becoming an entrepreneur, starting his own business. And if the business doesn't take off the way he would like it to, then he would want to go overseas so that he can contribute. I forgot to mention that Amber said that if he did go play basketball overseas, then it would be a deal breaker for their relationship. But Amber at the dinner was just like, you know, I make $80K. I can support us. I got us. And I don't think she was trying to flex or anything. I think she was just being real. You know, okay, I have $80K. So if you need me to support you while you're starting this business, I can do that. And honestly, she can make you $80K. What are you doing? Because I thought she was a teacher. And then all of a sudden there's tension. He's laying on one side of the bed. First of all, how is he fitting in any bed? He needs a California king everywhere he goes. I mean, literally, when he gets in the bed, when he's just sitting up laying like this, his feet are to the very edge. So I'm like, how do you sleep? But anyway, and she's on the other side, forlorn. And I'm just like, what happened? What happened that quick? So, basically in the car, they had a miscommunication. What it seems like is Matt was just trying to make sure that Amber knew that he's not a bum and he wants to work. I think he just didn't want to feel like he was trying to take advantage of her. And so it might have come off a little, you know, like harsh. Especially he has this deep voice and kind of like his voice can sound a little deep and cavalier sometimes. So I think it might have come off wrong to her. And she took it as, you know, don't try to son me. I got this. When really she was just trying to say, I have your back with this business and I'll support you until you get to where you want to be. I think it's great on both ends. You know, she wants to support her man. He just wants to be a man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these men are bums and they want to be taken care of. So I like the fact that Matt was like, nah, I'm not a bum. It was a big miscommunication and I like the way they just talked about it. Amber has abandonment issues from her mom leaving her. So I feel like that's going to be something that's going to be a little bit recurring because she's going to have to learn to trust Matt. I think she should let her guard down with Matt because I feel like Matt wants this relationship just as much as she does. I really do. Anyway, I really like this episode. I don't know what people are talking about with they want to see all the toxic drama of a couple that's mismatched. I hate that. That doesn't make me happy. It actually makes me sad. Let me know what you guys think down below. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you on my next one. Peace.